Last orders at the bar.
A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen thinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop off the cork, have a glass of wine, I'll feel safe, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line before the Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Well, hello everyone. It has been a while since we've done this, isn't it?
Hello. Has it? How long has it been? Like a week?
Well, since last orders, it's been 2 weeks, really.
My God.
Do we even know what we're up against anymore? I'm not sure
No.
if we do. Yeah.
Could be anything.
For the people who did send us super chats as part of Open Bar 158, we do apologize for the delay. I have been off in Canada for the past week watching Trial by Fire get made, which was quite the amazing experience. Really enjoyed it, and I think we're putting together a really good movie at the end of this. Like, I'm very pleased with how it's all shaping up. So that's kept me busy. Excuse me, I've been kind of occupied with that. But now that I'm back in the not so sunny UK, it's time to get back and do some super chat catch ups and get ready for our next open bar later in the week. So I don't know, Mauler, are you ready?
I sure am.
Are we
so
emotionally?
excited.
Yeah, we're geared up for this one. All right, I'm gonna find the last one that we did here, which was from the one and only Casey Boyd, and he is asking us, just watched Memento for the first time. Holy hell, my brain felt like it had ran a marathon, but in a good way. It was nice to watch such a stimulating film. Memento is a stimulating film, and it's a very interesting one. Obviously, we started talking about this, I think, on the night. I'm going through various Christopher Nolan movies, and I think someone had asked us what our favorite was, and a few of us named Memento as our top pick. Yeah, it's interesting. Most people seem to pick his earlier stuff, from what I recall.
Pick for, was it favorite or?
Yes.
For Nolan, just generally.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, it would be an interesting ranking system because it's kind of.
I know what yours would be, obviously.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, because it's like, I guess it's common at this point. You wouldn't have thought so, but the greatest directors have amazing films, but also really, really bad ones.
It seems to be with him.
Well, I was going to say, because, James Cameron, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess that still applies. Ridley Scott's like, definitely applies.
It applies more than any other, perhaps.
Yeah.
Lo-Fi Inkblot Beats says, most modern entertainment has been trash for years. Glad I started making music that's chill and wholesome. Hail to the chat, the panel, and slurpos for all.
Yes.
That is something to live by right there. Thanks, man. Ovela Gallant Seer says, I used to like you guys. I still do, but I used to too. I mean, that's a lot to unpack with that sentence, but I agree with you 100%. I'm glad you used to like us and you still like us.
I used to like us too.
I still like us. Don Sona, The Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain was my first introduction to Hulk Hogan. Damn, what an introduction that was as well. I think it was Thunder in Paradise in terms of like his acting. And then it was probably later that I saw Rocky 3. Because like I would have been growing up in the sort of early 90s. Actually, no, I maybe saw Rocky 3 before that, now that I think about it. But yeah, he had an interesting acting career, shall we say.
Yeah.
It's just really unusual when you see him, like, particularly back in the sort of mid-90s, where they put a wig on him and he shaved off his tash, and he just looks like a completely different man. It's like Hulk Hogan just isn't right without the handlebar mustache. It's just takes something away from him.
Breaking the universe when they did that.
Yeah. Croak says, Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex, Larry Niven essay, required superhero reading. All right, there you go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, hope this helps. Says, hey, Drinker, between Charlie Kirk's assassination and the 24th anniversary of 9/11, last Thursday was a really hard day. Thanks for having a regular open bar, letting me escape this crazy world for a little. Great job in production hell for Wizard of Oz. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Empire Rogue says, Drinker, The Rock is doing Big Trouble in Little China. What drinks do you recommend you put in a 5-year comatose state? Yeah, I don't think that movie's happening, is it? That was announced years ago and nothing's ever come of it.
Certainly hope nothing comes of it.
Yes. If you really want to go into a comatose state, you'd probably want absinthe. It's about the strongest stuff you can get. Or just drink pure ethanol. I guess that'll put you down for good.
Yeah.
I don't really recommend it, but there it is. Tornator says, Hail Vernon the Drunk Dwarf, long time first watch super chat. Check out Jester Bell, aka female Frodo Baggins, would likely be a stellar guest. Okay.
All
Are you
right.
familiar with Jester Bell? Mauler?
No, not heard of him.
Take a look then. Jan Javi says, Henry Cavill was done dirty in Witcher. The actress for Yennefer even said it was great to have someone who knew a lot about the story. Looks like the writers didn't care. He was awesome in Mission Impossible Fallout. Yes, he was. And he was doing his absolute best in The Witcher. So,
yeah.
Real shame what happened there. Senior Brightside says, describing his experiences in World War I, he wrote, frankly, I enjoyed the war. That was that unkillable soldier we talked about the other night.
It's good to have a positive outlook, you know?
Sure. I mean, I don't imagine too many people look back on World War I and said, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. Jolly good adventure. Last Minute Hero gave us $10 US, so thank you. Croak says, The Wicked Witch of the Western Throng. Mega Spidey Man says, Mauler and guess, most attractive Marvel character in MCU or outside it, and why?
Wait, so when they say outside, so like MCU character, do they just mean the most attractive woman outside the MCU, or like?
I don't know if it'd be like Marvel characters that are not part of the MCU, so like the Fox X-Men, that sort of thing.
Okay, let's see. We just go with peak Black Widow or like Prime.
She was peak. I think she was good. Who else? I mean, Rebecca Romijn as Mystique was top tier. I've got to say. Yeah, it might be my pick. SG Angus says, this army guy was the original death can have me when it earns me. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Case the ace. So the Thing from the 1982 film would not be able to assimilate the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four, right? Probably would be the best Fantastic Four movie. What if the Thing was in it? I mean, sure. It'd be fun.
That's an interesting one in the sense that, like, if Johnny allows it to like attach and take over, so like it can't really flame on, right? So it would kill it.
Yeah, unless it just replicates the outward appearance of flames, but it's not actually on fire.
Or that it gets an immunity to flame by assimilating him, which would be really unfortunate.
Yeah,
would be fucked then.
Yeah, not sure how the mechanics of that work, but I guess not. If he didn't want it to assimilate him, then it probably couldn't. Croak says, and this is a quotation, every major talent that works for ABC and Disney should refuse to show up for work until Jimmy Kimmel is reinstated. Marvel's Wajahat Ali wrote. Well, as it turns out, that seems to be a problem that solved itself in the interim, so I guess he's back. The Snazzy comment. Earlier this week was the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. Have you seen the movie from 1969? One of the greatest, absolutely stellar footage. Yes, I have. The Battle of Britain movie from 1969. Yeah, great war movie. I think it's an all-star cast from what I recall. And it fairly accurately depicts the battle stretched out over the summer of like 1940. Have you seen it perchance, Mauler? Are you like an aficionado for older war movies?
I don't think I've seen that, but it's possible. My dad showed me a whole bunch when I was younger.
We should, when we talked about things to watch, like when we've got slightly clearer schedules, it might be interesting to do a little arc on like classic war films.
Yeah, maybe
escape type things. I think there could be a lot of fun to be had there.
I do like The Great Escape.
It is good. Brandon Lee Janicki says, the fact that this is what got Kimmel cut and not his infamous old groping women sketches is pretty astounding. Yeah, but what would they say? It was like, oh, it was a different time and you could do stuff like that. Gaming Hub says, Marco Rubio took over the show. JD Vance announced. Avarith says, Mauler, you should do a Star Trek 2009 EFAP with Drinker and Gary. Is the film that started this bad remake era and destroying legacy characters.
Yeah, we could do something with that at some point.
It's pretty horrific. Yeah. James Waters, almost all these late night hosts have been delusional, morally bankrupt hacks for years. The world may be a fraction better off without them on the air. Time to move on from their tired old shtick. I agree. Bradley Cannons, funny. Far lefties were using these talking points for the last 10 years. You become the very thing you swore to destroy. I don't know, man. Like when it comes to like libeling people, I think your private employer is well within their rights to fire you to avoid a lawsuit. Glitterstorm Apocalypse says, regarding Jimmy Kimmel, his mistake and others was getting too political. One reason why Johnny Carson, yes, I'm very old, lasted so long is because he refused to get caught up in politics. I mean, I would say if you're doing entertainment, it probably helps to avoid politics. Seems like a reasonable take.
Yeah.
Mark Holmes said Kimmel made incorrect statements about an active police investigation to millions of people. Exactly. He could have apologized, but he refused to. It's all his fault. That is also true. Dearest says ABC and Disney didn't fire Kimmel by choice. Sinclair Broadcasting Company demanded that he get pulled, the largest network affiliate of ABC. I mean, I've been a little bit out of the loop, but as I understand, they're still refusing to put his broadcasts on the air, aren't they? Even though he's been reinstated, they're not going to show it.
There's like, I'm not as up to date on it either. Like, I know a lot of people have been following it intently. All I know is he had his return or whatever, but who knows exactly what the nature of it is, or at least I don't.
Yeah, we will see. Nebraska because said the right has run out of cheeks to turn. Yeah, when people start getting killed, I guess it gets a bit more serious. Emperor Norton says, Drinker, from the other day, the correct version of Avatar to watch is the Nickelodeon cartoon running from 2005 to 8. Starts with The Boy in the Iceberg, arguably the best animated TV show of all time. Believe that. Are you familiar with Avatar, The Last Airbender, the TV show?
Yeah. Is
it good?
Told it was the greatest show ever for a very long time. I finally watched it. I thought it was meh.
Oh, no.
Let's just say, I mean, it's the greatest animated show of all time. Is like fucking Simpsons beats it out as far as I'm concerned already. But like a single season best stuff of all time. I think FMA Brotherhood's better than Avatar. I think One Punch Man, at least season 1's better. Have you seen that One Punch Man?
No, I haven't. I started watching FMA Brotherhood, and I quite liked it. I only got a few episodes in so far, though.
It's a good show. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Hostman's Lounge says, Whoopi Goldberg, the Predator on hiatus or beanbag with dreadlocks? You decide. Okay. King of Comedy. Hey, Mauler, what do you think of this quote? Fear, doubt, irony. That's what poisons your story. That and too much predictability.
Well, I mean, viewers love being surprised for sure. There's all kinds of things that stories need. I'm guessing they're talking about from the writer's perspective, that you don't want to doubt your own story or be afraid to do certain things.
Yeah, or even, I guess, commit to like sincerity in some of your characters and stuff. Like, oh, it's all got to be undercut with that ironic humor. Like, oh, this is so goofy. It's a kind of get out of jail free card so you don't have to commit to anything.
Mm-hmm.
KC Masterpiece says, the sad irony is when many say they are politicizing this, the statement is supported by falsely politicized rhetoric. Both sides do this. Yeah, something to think on.
That's what they say.
Yeah. John Sona. Mauler's ability to tackle political subjects while also keeping me guessing about his political alignment is the reason I find him so refreshing to listen to.
I mean, sure, all right, fair.
Well, I would say it's a fair assessment. Like, sometimes you're required to talk about stuff like this, which is quite sensitive. But I don't think you ever express a real political opinion one way or the other, which is absolutely fine. Like, you're not obliged to. No one is.
Yeah, I agree.
My Dixie Wrecked says, Master Debaters Unite. We are indeed.
Hell yeah.
We do it every Thursday. Bradley Cannons, call it what you want, but you plus alt media outlets like Joe Rogan are mainstream media now. It's just a different iteration. Love you all, but call a spade a spade. Well, There you have it, Mauler. We're the media
Wow.
now.
All right.
That's your reaction. Well, all right.
I'm not sure that's good for the world, but you know what? Fine.
Yeah, we're wildly incompetent retards, but sure, we're in charge of it now.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lampkin. My brother won tickets for Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. Saw them Tuesday. Awesome show. Alice Slade at 77. Love you guys. Erect penises. I mean, how do you even take that any further? Well done, sir. I guess. I love how that's got no connection to anything we talked about, but I'm glad for your brother. Paul Connolly. Hey, Drinker, Muller and Pano. To Robot Head's point about the Acolyte's budget, I hate to sound like a istophobe, but I wonder if the money was to pay for the cast's therapists. I mean, there's probably a certain amount of money that went on that. They probably should have spent more in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
Moroka says, SP had a joke about Steve Irwin dying and ended up in hell and getting kicked out of a costume party for not dressing up. He had a stingray hanging out of his chest like a week after he was killed. That's South Park, I guess. So, yeah, they did. Is it in good taste? Probably not.
Well, you know, this is for everyone to decide, but like they tend to they went after a couple things. I feel like they always want to test limits.
Yeah. Here's one for you, Mo. This is from Big Wang. Says, and feel free to answer this or not as you see fit. Do you think Destiny advocates for violence like Drinker and Reaper claim, or that any of the arguments he's made on recent events are wrong or correct?
I've not really listened to much of any of the stuff he makes anymore, but like of clips that I see going around of himself or the usual suspects, whether or not by dictionary definitions it is 100% incitement, it is still ridiculously aggressive and like inappropriate, right? And they're only just the reason why they get targeted outside of a lot of people who are doing it is because they're majorly influential. And
yeah,
I've for a long time hated the era we're in because everyone is so willing to jump to advocating for their political audiences to. They usually use like more special language, but even just in the past year, like it's gotten intensely more aggressive. I think out of all of them, Hassan's still probably the worst in terms of like the one that I saw was him saying you should like get on stage and gut your opponents and show the crowd their entrails and stuff. But like the thing is, a lot of people get it in their heads that as soon as someone on their opposing side has said anything close to it, they're like, well, then I should be allowed to say it. But the problem is like interpretation. Like if someone says something that they didn't even mean for it to go that way, and you're just like, nah, it's already done, gates open, I can do whatever I want now. Everyone should be allowed to. And it's just like, well, what a great world we live in where everyone's just talking about killing each other. Thank you.
Unfortunately, yeah, and like the escalation is quite real. I don't know. The moment one side calls for like, bring down the temperature and stuff, it's like, well, the other side's reaction is probably going to be, why the fuck should we? You don't seem to be. And it's like, it's then becomes quite a difficult process of de-escalation. The Shrevel says, Alien Earth should be on the books and comics. Colonial Marines takes aliens to Earth, tries a coup. The alien kills him. The Earth gets infested, mass evacuations to space. The engineer ship arrives and hears its psychic laughter. I don't want the engineers in Alien lore anymore. I think they're fucking retarded. Yeah. They're such a dumb plot device.
Get rid of them.
Caleb Shirts. Hey, Drinker, would love to get a Severance or Invincible review. Cheers. I bet you would. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen season 1 of Severance so far, so I haven't gotten on to season 2, but I very much enjoyed it so far. I've been told that it doesn't necessarily live up to its promise, but in terms of acting and concept and stuff, I think it's fascinating. And as with Invincible, I reviewed season 1. I gave it a Drinker Recommends. I haven't really watched much more since then, though. Cyclox says, Hail panel, you should consider inviting Thorius Unlimited or Jester Bell one day. I'm sure it'd be fun. Have a nice night of drinking. Yeah, that's the second recommendation for Jester Bell, actually. Take a look. Laganas says, have any of you guys seen Blame? It's a 2017 Japanese manga. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I have not seen Blame, I'm afraid. Don't know.
Neither have I.
Jerome says, for years I've said Reaper is the next big thing. Look at him now, kicking it with the best of the best. Yeah, I still have no way to give this motherfucker money. Yeah, he never does live streams of his own, as far as I know. It's a shame. It would be a good opportunity for him, but he does what he does best: rants about things in scripted videos. So, yeah, he's always fun to have on the bar. Hostman's Lounge says, what annoys me the most about most of the popular anime in the States is that they are shonen, which are aimed at teenage boys. Most of the slower-paced, adult-oriented ones are more underground affairs. That's interesting. I hadn't really thought, because I'm not really familiar with the different like styles of anime or the different subgenres of it. Like, I'm pretty ignorant about that stuff. I should probably put that right. Georgian Pendragon says, I've got my old box set of Alien and Aliens. It has a little marketing sticker on it I never removed, which states contains both films. When I see it, it still makes me smile, and I simply nod and think, yes, both. That is the correct wording. Long live physical media.
It is crazy how many alien projects since have all failed. You know, like storytelling wise.
They just keep shorting them out. Papa Pumpkin says, what happened to him? Science. Alien Earth.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck that show. God. Jeremy Soden, been loving Gary and Mube's reviews of Alien Earth. You guys are troopers.
We survived. Once the last one came out, we were just like, oh, wow, that's it. Well, bye.
No debriefing, nothing. Just
until
bye.
Next time.
Intent Matters says, Reaper, did you prepare the list of questions you're going to ask the tourist guide at Auschwitz? He probably did, and I would imagine 90% of them are extremely inappropriate. But that's our Reaper for us. Harriman says, were we too hard on Alien Resurrection? No, that movie's still shit. Like, two things can be true. Like, modern-day Alien stuff can be garbage, and older stuff can also be garbage. It's fine. Toxic Gamer, this is my last super chat before my videos on the Birdman will be released. I just want to thank you guys for the amazing advice you gave me, and thank you for the clips of you answering my questions. Well, there you go. He's going to do a takedown on the Birdman.
Fair enough.
The Shrivo says, you need a palate cleanser. Watch the anime Free Run Beyond Journey's End. It makes a mockery of Western storytelling. That's not hard at this point, to be fair. Speak to Gundam about it. There you go. I've heard Free Run referenced quite a few times, actually. People seem to really like it.
Yeah, same.
Type Zero says, there is no greater defense of free speech than defending speech you don't like. Jimmy got fired by the FCC for showing that Trump doesn't care about Charlie Kirk. A ballroom was more important. Well, there you go. Johnny Fizzle. Hail panel. A probos of nothing, I'd like to recommend Hajime no Ippo. It's a great anime about boxing that's well written and as far from woke as you can get. It's also on Netflix, so it's easy to find. Cheers. Well, that's another good recommendation.
Apropos of nothing, I think, right?
Yes. Sorry.
Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Do not know how to pronounce this guy's name. Marton Sispregi says, moral quote of the day. You want the long? You can't handle the long. I don't think anyone can, really.
It's hard to handle.
RM. Have you seen the movie Together? Has to compete with Echo as a total waste of production money for entertainment. Also, Drinker, can you give my pal Prunty a shout out as he has just dropped down to 10 stone? Big win. Nice one, Prunty. Yeah. 10 stone's pretty light, actually. I mean, I'm like 13. But yeah, good going on your friends. Together is like when it's like a man and a woman. They keep getting stuck together if they like are in contact for too long. That's that horror movie, isn't it?
Yeah, Dave Franco and Alison Brie, I think, who are together in real life, right?
Right. Have you seen it? Or
I've not seen the film, and I've not seen anyone talk about it, but it looks weird.
Yes. Cannon Folderall. Drinker, a nitpick on the pulse rifles. Often military designs remain in service for decades. The M1911 was the US sidearm for 70 years. M16 was introduced in 1964, the M2 in 1933, both still in use today. Cheers. Yeah, but they're not really frontline weapons. Like the M16 has been superseded multiple times. Like
we did talk about this on the night for a while. Yeah. Like like we may be British, but like we know about a lot of this because we care about a lot of the different things in guns. Like everyone knows the M1911 was in service for fucking ages, but I'm pretty sure that got replaced as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's like weapons like that are more speciality at this point. You know, they might be used by special forces because they've got heavy caliber or they're extremely reliable, that sort of thing. But like, they're not the main frontline weapon anymore.
What's stupider about Alien Earth is that they have better versions of the weapons that in the future they will have downgraded versions of.
Yeah, well, Romulus, they've got
the auto pulse rifle.
Yeah, like auto targeting and stuff. Like, what the fuck? Jay Fraser, hail gents. Mauler, please record your and Gary's reaction to Alien Earth's final episode. At this point, it'll be the only joy that I get in life. Well,
honestly, it wouldn't have been worth it. Like the last episode's kind of crap in the sense of like the best one is the penultimate one. That's the stupidest, the one where she gets the alien to kill everyone.
Right, yeah.
That's like the stupidest and funniest. Yeah, but like the last episode, it's stupid, but you know, it kind of just ends and you're like, okay, good, bye. Like I said.
Cyanide Sunday. Transitioning robot kids making friends with the alien. They may as well have been holding up signs saying refugees are welcome here. I mean, yeah, if you care to look for these messages, I suppose you'll see them. Beige Box says, everyone apologize to Alien 3 and Resurrection. No. I won't apologize. Sword of Rome. Have you fine gentlemen seen the Splinter Cell trailer? It got Netflixed. Yeah, it got Netflixed pretty hard from what I saw. Fuck knows what they were going for there. Kroom says, hail bar. Just back from the pub with Footy Champions League and all that. Random, but can I ask the state of Star Trek and if any way back for it? It's fucked, basically. As long as, what the fuck are they called? Bad Robot? No, it's it's Bad Robot that still has the sort of production rights to Star Trek, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much Alex Kurtzman. As long as they're on top of it, like, it's never gonna get any better. St. Louis says, hail to the bar, hail to the chat. Hail to you, sir, and thank you. Big Hat Legion says, Mauler quote time. My favorite part was when Mauler came in and said, it's Marlin time, and then he loved Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin edition. Is this all true, Mauler?
This is true. I wish it wasn't, but it is.
Canon Volderall also says, my error, the US military began to issue the M7 rifle in 2022. I'll forgive you, don't worry. Jay Fraser says, Drinker, how about Bo DeMeo for your VIP lounge? I'd talk to him. Yeah, I'd be very interested to get his insights into how things work at Marvel. It's just a question of like reaching out to him, I suppose. I don't really have too many ways of contacting him. Big J, fun fact, Lex from Alien vs. Predator is the second best protagonist of the Alien franchise. I mean, once you get past Ripley, there's not much to work with.
Yeah, I mean, especially because if you knock out Ripley, that knocks out 4 films, right?
Yeah.
So
the good ones, or the good 2. Anyway.
Then all you got left is the weird girls from the Ridley movies, and then what's her name? Rain. We love Rain. Oh, she's a bird in a cage.
Truly is. Anna Nielsen, favorite Mauler quote. Pardon me, it's very rare to see real magic.
That's the prestige.
Yeah. JB, have you seen the new announcement of a new Netflix series, Von Fersens? The Swedish monarch Gustav III will be played by Alexander, former Jihad Abdallah. I did see the pictures of him, yeah. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that, you know, Swedish monarchies from like hundreds of years ago probably weren't Middle Eastern. It's just a wild guess, you know. I think it's probably a fair assessment. But it is Netflix. You can always count on them. Charlie Boy says, best show on Disney Plus, Mr. In Between, so underrated. So I've heard. Big Hat Legion says another Mauler quote. I'd agree with you, except for one thing. You're wrong.
That always gets in the way of agreeing.
Jay Fraser, worst film I ever saw in cinemas, The Son of the Mask. I never even saw that.
Not many people did, I don't think.
Yeah. David Southall, have you watched Peggy Sue Got Married? No, I haven't, I'm afraid.
No.
Lord Toxic says, Plot Strikes Back is in the big leagues, killing it. Yeah, it was good to have on. Hey Bartender says, the Alien Earth Episode 8 trailer just popped up. You're right about Wendy saying humans are the real monster, more or less. I figured I would be. It's so funny when a show's retarded, but it thinks it's smart. It's just charming.
Yep.
Zax says, hot take, Dark Wolf might be better than Terminal List. Well, I'll wait and see when I've watched it. And Casey Boyd says, Tarantino believes the 90s to be a better decade in filmmaking than the 80s. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I think when you look at some of the higher profile films of the 90s, like across the whole decade, there's probably an argument to be made there. I think it's just because a lot of the big franchises that we still know of today kind of got their start in the 80s.
There's a fight to be had. I mean, I wouldn't even say don't count out the 2000s. You got some interesting stuff in there too. It's just that when we get to 2010s, it's over.
Yes, no one's going to look back on that time. But that right there was the last of the super chats.
Well.
So yeah, that was a relatively short one tonight, but I guess we got through a lot of them on the night. So very much appreciate you guys. Actually, just before I go, that reminds me, there's a few here that came in as member super chats. So let me just see if I can bring them up here.
Alrighty.
Yeah, because T. Donworth is a user who sends them to me. He's very kind that way, so I'll just bring them up. Nathan Cassidy says, my favorite story of the unkillable soldier is he ultimately retired because he slipped on a banana peel and was permanently crippled from the fall. That's fucking brilliant. Kuhaku says, hi gents, thanks for today's show. Horror season is in. What would you recommend to give a go? I'm thinking of Evil Dead and Dexter, but otherwise I don't know. I'd say the Flanagan stuff is a good place to start if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, and we're planning on doing The Fly this year for Halloween. So Cronenberg's The Fly. Check it out if you're willing to be quite scared.
You've done The Thing already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Naturally. Snex says, good news, I'm halfway through Firefly. Bad news, I'm halfway through Firefly. Oh, what we could have had. What's your favorite episode of Firefly? Cheers, gents. Oh, gosh.
I think we did have this discussion, didn't we? Out of Gas is the one that I would pick, but
it's a strong pick, yeah.
I forget which one you picked. Because a couple of really good ones.
Yes. Is it the one where they pick up a friend of Miles, and he's like a former soldier that served with them, and he's like kind of on the run?
War Stories, was it?
I think it was that, yeah. I'm pretty sure I had a really good impression of that one.
Or was it The Message? I think I can't remember. I might get the names mixed up, but yeah, I remember that one for sure. Yeah.
Space Whiskey says the comics introduced the concept of an alien goddess, a humanoid alien queen. I bet they'll make Wendy into her. And Jeremy Soden says Alien Earth is your comeuppance for making people watch Last of Us 2, Drinker. It has been punishing. It really has. I feel like we're square now.
What? I never made you watch Alien Earth.
Yeah, you did. There's all kinds of punishment going on behind the scenes. But no, it's over now at least, and we can move on with our lives, thank God. Move on to the next garbage show. But thank you guys for joining us for this, and thanks for the amazing super chats. We appreciate your generosity as always, and we'll catch you up on the next open bar. Right now, that's all we got for today. So go away now.
Bye.